So it's that time of year. A lot of you are probably prepping for your holiday meals. So I decided to compile some of my recipe videos for the holidays, and this might give you an idea of what to cook, and some of the tips might help you. Now, if you want full ingredients and measurements for each item in the compilation video, then check the description below and I will link those recipe videos. You can go there, and below those videos, they'll have the ingredient list and measurements. This compilation is going to go fast, but I hope you find some of the tips helpful and it might give you an idea of what to cook. Here we go. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the turkey. So I'm going to prepare this for an oven bag. I find that it's so easy to do and the turkey comes out tender and moist. My turkey is thawed, cleaned, the inside cavity is empty. I've tucked the wings under. The turkey legs are together. So now I'm going to add oil to the exterior. You can also add butter to this and make sure that you coat the entire outside of the turkey. Here I have a rub. If you want the ingredients for the rub, check the description below for the turkey video link. And you can season your turkey however you like. You can also add aromatics to the cavity. I'm just going to sprinkle and season the outside and inside of the turkey. And this will be ready for my bag. To prepare the bag, you'll want to add 1 tablespoon of flour to the inside of the bag and give it a good shake. And this is just going to coat the inside of the bag. I'm going to place my bag in a large roasting pan, and to the bag I'll add 4 to 5 sticks of celery, 1 large onion chopped. Now for the turkey. And again, you can add aromatics to your turkey and season how you like. I am going to tie the end here and use that little tie that comes with the turkey bag and be sure to secure it tight. And now I'm going to cut 1/2-inch slits to the top, 6 to be exact. And this is going to bake and cook in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 2 to 2.5 hours. Once the turkey is done, I'm going to remove it and let it set in the bag for about 15 to 20 minutes, then carefully cut it open because things will be hot and steamy. Once I cut open the bag, I'm going to remove the turkey carefully and place it on a cutting board to continue resting for about 30 to 40 minutes. And yes, the turkey will still be warm after it rests, but you want it to rest so that it can retain any juiciness. So I want you to take a look at this. Look how tender and juicy the breast is. This is why I like to cook the turkey in a bag. Now I'm going to prepare a crock pot ham, which is the perfect way to spare oven space when you're cooking a large meal. So I've rinsed the ham, I've scored the ham, I removed the extra skin on the top. Now I'm going to add the entire jar of cherries, juice and all, the complete can of sliced pineapples, juice and all. And I'm going to be using a Dijon mustard, honey, cinnamon, ground clove mix to pour on top of the ham. Check out the description below for the ham recipe for the ingredients and measurements. I'm also adding brown sugar with cinnamon and ground clove mixed into it. This is going to be a very sweet and spiced ham. And the ham is so salty, you need a lot of sweetness to balance out the salt in this, which is why you want to rinse your ham out of the bag. So now I'm going to set this on high, cover with the lid, and cook for about 2 hours or until the internal temperature of this smoked and pre-cooked ham reaches 145 degrees Fahrenheit. And halfway through the cook time, I am going to baste it, but as a wise commenter said, if you're looking, you're not cooking, so don't lift the lid too much. So after about 1.5 hours, I'm going to slice the ham. And I'm going to put it right back into my crock pot and let it continue cooking in the juices. And you don't want to overcook the ham, so I'm going to just keep it warm for another 30 minutes. And it's ready to serve. It's as easy as that. Now I'm going to make some easy gravy. This is a very easy recipe, and you could use store-bought turkey stock or broth. I decided to make some with some aromatics and the neck that came from the turkey. So here's what I ended up with. This recipe that I'm making is going to make somewhere between 2 to 2.5 cups of gravy. So in a pan over a medium heat, I'm going to add 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And I'm just going to melt that down. Be sure your pan is not super hot. You don't want to burn the butter. So I'm going to add 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour to my pan, and I'm going to combine and mix that and let that cook over a medium heat for about 45 seconds to a minute. Again, nothing on high. Now, little by little, I'm going to add my turkey broth. And you want to continually whisk to avoid adding lumps. And it does help that your turkey broth is room temperature. Hot pan, cold stock or broth equals no lumps. So once I have that combined and mixed, I am going to add some kitchen bouquet. It's just a browning sauce, just a little bit, less than 1/4 teaspoon does the trick. It adds great color and it does add a little bit of flavor. You'll want to taste it and add salt and pepper to taste. I'm just going to add a pinch of salt, cracked black pepper, give it a mix, and it's done. And it's as easy as that. It's a very simple turkey gravy. And you can add boiled egg, chopped turkey meat to this to make it even heartier. Okay, on to one of my many dressing recipes. Here I have a bunch of toasted white bread. I'm adding sauteed onion, celery, and bell pepper that I've seasoned with some rubbed sage and poultry seasoning, and I sauteed that in a stick of butter. I'm going to add that right into the toasted bread pieces. And here I have a pound of cooked breakfast sausage. You can exclude the pound of breakfast sausage and add some chopped cooked turkey. Here I have a bunch of fresh parsley, and I'm going to give that a mix. Oh, before I forget, I am adding some more poultry seasoning. This is to taste, and if you want the measurements and ingredients, check out the description below. I'm also adding some rubbed sage. You could also add fresh herbs and aromatics to this. Give that a mix, and now I'm going to add chicken broth. And the way I created the chicken broth was just water mixed with chicken bouillon powder or store-bought chicken broth. And I'm going to add little by little, mix it, and saturate the toasted bread. I will end up adding more once I put it into my slow cooker, and this is a 4-quart slow cooker. And it really is up to you how saturated you want your dressing. I have people in my family and even friends that prefer it crispy and on the drier side, and I like it very soggy. So I'm just going to add some butter on top. I'm going to cook this on high for around 2 to 2.5 hours. Right around the halfway point, I'll check, and if I need to add a little more broth, I'll do that. Like I said, it's really up to you how saturated you want this. But it doesn't have to have tons of broth because it is slow cooking in your crock pot. So after this is done, give it a mix and serve. And this is another way to save oven space, and it's really good. So now I'm going to create another side. I'm going to work on broccoli cheese rice casserole, and I recently posted this recipe video. The link is below. Here I'm working with 1 cup of rinsed rice, some chopped celery, some chopped onion. I'm also going to add a clove or 2 of fresh garlic. And here I mixed 2 cups of water with 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder. And because this already is salty, I'm not going to add salt to this. But I'm going to toast my rice in a preheated pan with some oil. You'll want to just toast that. Now I'm going to add my onion and saute along with the toasting rice. Add the celery and just continue sauteing and toasting. Towards the end, I'm going to add my fresh clove of garlic, give it a mix, combine, and saute quickly. Now I'm going to add my chicken broth. Give that a quick mix. I'm going to bring to a boil, cover with a lid. I'm going to lower the heat and cook this for about 18 to 20 minutes. Do not lift the lid. And once it's done, I'll shut it off and let it set for 10 minutes and then it's ready. So I'm creating a homemade cream sauce for this. So I'm starting with a preheated pan over medium-high heat with oil, and I'm going to saute some mushrooms that I've chopped. Once they're sauteed, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to add 3 to 3.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to create a roux. This is going to be the base for this very tasty cream sauce. So after I mix and cook that for about 45 seconds, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder, give that a mix, and little by little, I'm going to add maybe a cup to a cup and a half of water, and it's going to create this gravy. I'm going to add 1 cup of heavy cream, give that a mix, bring it to a gentle simmer, and now I'm going to add some American processed cheese. And just give that a mix and melt it, and that'll be the cream sauce for this. Now that the cream sauce is done, I'm going to add 10 ounces of thawed chopped broccoli to my rice that's been cooked, give it a mix, and then pour in the cream sauce. Once I add that, I'm just going to combine well and add some freshly cracked black pepper to taste. I'm going to add some shredded cheddar cheese, and I'm going to reserve a little for the top of the baking dish, but this is ready to be put in my baking pan. So here I have a buttered 9x13 baking dish. I'm going to add the rice mixture, add the rest of the cheese on top, cover with foil, and I'm going to bake. I'll be baking this at 375, covered for about 20-25 minutes, and then uncovered until the top is golden brown and bubbly. You could let this set and serve. Take a look at how creamy this is. And that's broccoli cheese rice casserole my way. So now I'm going to make some creamed peas. And I don't know how popular this dish is in your house, but it's popular in mine. So here I've added some butter to a preheated pan. Now I'm going to add some chopped onion, and I'm going to saute that. To create a roux, I'm going to add all-purpose flour to the sauteed onion and melted butter, and I'm going to cook that for 45 seconds to a minute over a medium heat. I'm going to add some cracked black pepper and also some freshly grated nutmeg. This really goes great with any cream sauce. Now I'm going to give that a mix and add whole milk. Sometimes I add evaporated milk. You could also add half whole milk, half heavy cream. It's really up to you. But here I'm just working with whole milk, and I'm going to add little by little until I have my cream sauce. I'm going to add salt to taste, give that a mix, and now I'm going to add frozen fresh peas. You could also use canned peas for this recipe, just drain well, but I find the frozen peas just hold up a lot better. So once you add your peas, give it a mix, let it simmer until they are cooked, and that's it. That's creamed peas my way, and it's really easy and it's tasty. Okay, so now for dessert. Now I know pumpkin pie is a holiday favorite, but how about an easy pumpkin dump cake? Yes, please. So here in a bowl I have 4 large eggs. To that I'm going to add a can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 can of pumpkin puree. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract and combine well. Now I'm going to add my mixture to a greased 9x13 baking dish. Once that's added, I'm going to sprinkle on top 1 box of yellow cake mix. This is store-bought cake mix. Now I'm going to add 2 sticks of melted butter right on top, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of this dump cake. Now I'm going to bake in a preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 50 minutes. And once I remove it from the oven, I'm going to let it set for about 30 minutes, then serve. And it's perfect for your holiday meal dessert. I hope you give these recipes a try. I hope you like them. And thanks for watching. Happy holidays.